Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. We can start. It is past 5. We were expecting more people, but I assume the weather for the people from Johannesburg is holding people up a bit. And nonetheless, I want to thank you for making time. For many of the UP colleagues, I know that you are on recess, and I really appreciate the fact that you take the issues of curriculum transformation seriously enough to come out of your recess to attend this evening's lecture. Just one small matter, as you might notice, it's quite hot in this venue. We've asked for the air conditioning to be switched on. I'm sure it will kick in by the time we leave this venue. And until then, I hope it's going to become more bearable as we proceed. Firstly, a special word of welcome to everyone, but then I've noticed one or two deans, and protocol requires that I do acknowledge him. Professor Vasuredi, welcome, and thank you for helping publicize the event. I see that humanity is very well represented. Professor De Jaar, I'd seen him also coming into the venue. Hi, Prof. Thanks for making time. I know that you had another meeting this evening. Thank you for prioritizing this particular gathering. I've seen several deputy deans, of course, Professor Stander, Professor Schoeman, and Professor Kok, and all others who I might be missing. A warm welcome to you. I've also seen the director of BARAP, Dr. Omar. Welcome. The director of UP Arts, Professor Van Wyk. Welcome to all. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my signal pleasure to welcome you to this afternoon's public lecture, Trepidation, Longing and Belonging, Liberating the Curriculum at Universities in South Africa, which is to be presented by Dr. Saleem Badat of the Mellon Foundation. This afternoon's lecture is one of a series of lectures organized under the title Curriculum Transformation Matters, the Decolonial Turn. Other speakers who had presented lectures as part of the series include Professor Tiniko Maluleke, Professor Vasu Reddy, Professor Catherine Odora Hoppers, Loveland Ndwai, Professor Sipamandla Zondi. The next two lectures will be in the series will be presented by Professor Crane Soudien of the HSRC and Professor Gar Stevens of the University of the Witwatersrand. To contextualize this evening's lecture, I suppose I need to give you a brief explication of where this lecture fits into UP's endeavors to transform its curricula. The public lecture series is part of a broader series of activities undertaken by the university to address the critical issue of curriculum transformation. These activities include, and you will recall last year we had started off the year with an international conference hosted by the Senate Committee for Teaching and Learning titled Transforming the Curriculum, South African Imperatives and 21st Century Possibilities. It was fortuitous that we had that symposium or conference at the beginning of the year, because at least it had then set us on the path of examining issues of curriculum and curriculum transformation in a focused manner. I think the focus was sharpened somewhat subsequently when the student protests happened on our campus as well. And there was a growing demand for the University of Pretoria to start looking at its curriculum much more incisively than had been the case until then. That was followed, in fact, the series of protests as well as the conference was followed by the establishment of what we call at UP a work stream, a curriculum transformation work stream. It was established after Lekgotla between the university management and student leadership sometime in March, and the work stream was given the instruction to examine our curricula and to look at ways of transforming the curricula where this would be required. The person one of the people who had played a leading role in that work stream is Professor Kok, who is sitting in the third row from the front here. And once again, I can only acknowledge the extraordinary work which that work stream had done, because they had produced a framework for the university to conduct its curriculum transformation or process of curriculum transformation in. That document was called Reimagining Curricula for a Just University in a Vibrant Democracy. And I think the title speaks to what a certain group of people at the university, and I hope it's going to be a group that's going to grow in size, holds very dearly or feels very strongly about that we cannot be satisfied with our curricula or the state in the current form or the status quo as it pertains today, that we constantly have to work at our curricula to make it more appropriate for our context, both our South African context and African context, and I suppose also the global South context, and to constantly ensure that we reimagine and re-energize the curricula so we can give students the type of training that I think they deserve. Transforming the curriculum is part of the university's commitment, I must say, to serving the public good and advancing the actualization of human potential. So our efforts at curriculum transformation, I must indicate at this point, does not exclude but is not limited to issues of decolonization. It goes beyond that. It looks at it in a more encompassing manner. But all the lectures that we have had thus far have looked at elements of curriculum transformation, which I found extremely useful. And I'm sure this afternoon we're going to we're going to find material to add to the broad range of material that we have to make sense of curriculum transformation at the university.